Hey, what's good, y'all? And welcome back to Mark Talks Mark. Today, we're driving into a showdown of sorts. We have Solo Leveling, which had everybody buzzing last year. Just the season 1, of course, talking about Solo Leveling animation. The manhwa is already completed, and the perceived underdog held to anime sternness, but not at all in terms of manga. Sakamoto Days, which is making waves despite its smaller fan base. Mentioning both, I am a fan of both pieces of art, so this one, I'll have no bashing. No bashing of either ones. Now, don't get it twisted, Sakamoto Days manga is really good, and author Yuto Suzuki is straight cooking, especially in the recent chapters. However, there are often instances where the manga is on one level and the anime falls short in a sense. But Sakamoto Days season 1 didn't release yet. As a matter of fact, by the time this video comes out, it's released already. So I don't want to assume anything negative, even though my expectations are high due to the manga. But people who've been long-term anime fans, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's when, you know, the manga is cooking. The panels are going crazy. The artwork is immaculate. But sometimes the anime just, it's either the pacing is wrong, the frames are deadly or crazy. It just doesn't add up sometimes, which can lead to frustration and disappointment. But here's the analogy I like to say. Pasta. Okay, hear me out. If the recipe for a pasta looks good and the instructions are good and the ingredients, they complement each other, they look right, then it's bound to be a good dish. Stay with me now. The only thing we need as the consumer is to let the chef cook. Literally. The only way for the pasta to go bad is if the chef deviates from the instructions or switch up the recipe by adding their own creative twist. This is just like a good anime. If the manga is really good, meaning the story is crazy, the art is phenomenal, and the characters are charactering, then we anticipate the actual anime, you know, the dish, to be good. We just need the animation studio or the chefs to cook. Alright, that's enough of that. Now let's get into the video, starting with Solo Leveling, Season 1. For those who don't know, Solo Leveling is a manhwa created by the author Chu Gong. Season 1 made its debut roughly 1 year ago in January 2024 and made huge ripples in the anime community. Yes, the hype for this anime was more than justified. A1 Pictures did their big one with this animation. The pacing of the story was phenomenal, to say the least. We see our boy Song Jin-woo start off as the sorriest of E-rank hunters just to become that guy. Not only is he becoming physically stronger, but he's becoming more mature and considerate of his family and also more financially stable. Our boy's glow up must be studied. From the double dungeon arc to the constant grinding he did to literally level up to the hunter he is. The hype and love for this season is well justified, and I'm already enjoying the second season. Truth be told, we all love a good underdog story, and we saw our boy Song Jin-woo go from being broke, bullied, and friend-zoned to being one of the most feared, respected, and well-paid hunters in his verse. And speaking of underdogs, let's move to Sakamoto Days Season 1. Now, not by any means is Sakamoto Days subpar to Solo Leveling, but I did go to Twitter and I saw y'all dragging this animation before it even dropped. Like, I get it, Sakamoto Days is dropping on the same day as Solo Leveling's episodes, but we can enjoy them both, right? For y'all who are unfamiliar with Sakamoto Days, the story follows a great Toro Sakamoto who starts off as a top-tier assassin. He was feared and revered, but ultimately decided to settle down, start a family. In the manga, we see Sakamoto end his prime phase and see him as a family man. He owns a small convenience store shop and wants to live in peace with his wife and daughter. Sakamoto Days is one of the top trending mangas to date because of its awesome storyline, vivid art, and action panels, and relatable characters that you can't help but love. We see his story tackle many themes like family values, maintaining integrity, while also seeing amazing hype action scenes. My expectations for this anime are high, since the manga panels and artworks are just good. Just going back to the pasta reference, I just need the talents at TMS Entertainment to go off, man. Do y'all big one with this. Yes, Sakamoto Days deserves to get a chance. And I can say that because how hard this manga is cooking right now. Comparing Sakamoto Days to Solo Leveling was like comparing apples to oranges. Like, these two are really good shows, but in their own respective fields. Solo Leveling Season 1 highlights coming of age and grinding to reach your goals. But Sakamoto Days highlights family values and doing anything to protect your family, even if it's from your past. Song Jin-woo wants to see how strong he can become and is excited to see the depth of his power. However, Taro Sakamoto has already experienced his peak and experienced the depth of his power, and now he just wants to enjoy a life of peace with his family. Both stories have strong themes of family. Family is huge because just as Song Jin-woo wants to protect his mother and sister, my boy Taro Sakamoto would also slide for his wife and daughter with no hesi. Family being the common denominator between these two great shows is just a testament to how valuable the theme of family can drive a story. Family themes are used in most stories because of relatability, conflict, and culture. Relatability wise, family dynamics resonate with a wide audience. Many people can relate to the complexities of familial relationships, whether positive or negative, making these stories emotionally impactful. I can say that for both because my boy Song Jin-woo just wants to protect his little sister and also wants to save his mom. Similarly to Sakamoto Days, Taro is just trying to protect his wife and kids. He's a family man. Regarding conflict and drama, familial relationships can create inherent conflict, providing a source of drama and tension in stories. This sense of drama, tension can drive the plot forward and keep viewers engaged. Hey, I don't want to get too deep into spoilers, but this is true. Having family as a theme definitely would drive the plot. Y'all know how it is having different personalities in your family, all those things clashing, that could drive any plot forward. And lastly, cultural significance. In many cultures, especially Japan and Korea, family holds significant place in society. Themes of loyalty, duty, and sacrifice often reflect cultural values and social structures. I think this is very true just because families are the building blocks of society. Let's keep it on it. If you have a society with weak family structures and weak values, I believe that culture isn't going to last. That society is going to fall apart because it all starts with the family. This is why I'm not surprised that both of these powerhouse stories have strong family themes. Now, here is where they both differ. These pieces of art diverge in terms of execution, but more specifically, character development and world building. Let's get into it. One of Solo Leveling's greatest strengths is its world building. Solo Leveling does an amazing job of showing the world of hunters, the various guilds they're in, and how they correlate. It even goes as far as shows details of how the RPG-esque reality world works. Solo Leveling shows the world's hierarchy of monsters and hunters as well as the art style. Now, where Solo Leveling excels in a world building, it should be noted that Sakamoto Days doesn't necessarily prioritize world building. Yeah, we know about the Order and X's crew, but outside of that, the story doesn't dive too deep into specific factions, feats, and small details of Sakamoto's world. Nor does it have to. Again, these are just how the two stories differ, not to say anything negative about it. The reason why I believe Yuto Suzuki doesn't emphasize the minor details in the world building of Sakamoto Days is because he doesn't need to. The characters are so relatable that they drive the story. This leads to one of Sakamoto Days' greatest strengths, character development. Each character has their own arc and backstory that makes it so realistic and detailed that if you can't relate to the characters, you can at least understand their motive. Author Suzuki allows the readers to understand some of the characters' thoughts, fears, and emotions on various subjects. On the other hand, Solo Leveling does not focus too much on developing memorable characters, and that's not really a bad thing, but we asked 100 Solo Leveling fans to name 5 Solo Leveling characters, and they couldn't do it.
Name that starts with the letter H.
Arise. Also, it is a good point to note out that Sakamoto Days is a story about assassins, right? So maybe the lack of information on how the world works is done intentionally, and it is to add to the mysterious nature of Sakamoto's world of assassins. Also, Solo Leveling almost has to do a great job with world building since it is executed as an RPG game, almost like an isekai with many fantastical elements, hence the name. In most RPG games, the players are given more descriptions on the world building facts, and the plot is mainly focused on the main character. However, in Sakamoto Days, the story has more realism and humor that allows the characters to seem more relatable and understandable. This allows multiple characters besides the main character to play a pivotal role in the story. This is what makes comparing these two beautiful pieces of art so difficult. They are both amazing bodies of work in their own right, just executed differently, and that is completely fine. These two anime touch on different genres of the anime landscape. and that's why they're both very important to the culture. Sakamoto Days gears closer to realism and humor, which can appease the slice of life audience, as well as appease action junkies in the anime community. On the other hand, Solo Leveling tackles the fantasy subgenre, which draws in some fantasy nerds like myself, and those who love action as well. Overall, these two are great pieces of work that should just be added to the Library Hall of Fame of great anime. And this is why, if you was to ask me, I say, why not have both? I love both of these stories, and honestly, I would recommend both to anyone who love anime. So let me know which anime you would choose and why in the comments below. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, and until next time. And if you didn't eat today, there you go. Enjoy.